socialism kills millions.
That's correct.
Do you think that it's socialism, like the idea of socialism, the institution of socialism, or would you say it's more dictators or people who are in charge of socialism?
Yes.
Yes, that they're the ones that
No, meaning it's a joke, meaning yes to all the above.
All the above. Okay, so can I ask you a couple questions?
Of course. That's
okay.
why we're here.
So under the Obama administration, Osama bin Laden killed.
Yes.
Would you attribute that to Obama, or would you attribute it to the SEAL who killed him?
Robert O'Neill.
Oh, so Robert O'Neill. So you would give that to him. Okay. So under, well, I mean, I guess that's all I need to ask. So you wouldn't give that to Obama, but it was his institution that was responsible for it, right?
Right, and he did order the killing, and he deserves credit for that.
Okay, so
but he didn't pull the trigger.
Joseph Stalin, over 25 million people killed. Would you blame that on soldiers during a war? Or
I mean, Stalin was the one that gave the orders from Moscow or from Stalingrad to go after southeastern Russian villages and kill everything in sight. So it's his fault. The soldiers were obeying the chain of command.
Yeah, they were. Okay,
so that's why I said Obama deserves a fair amount of credit for Osama bin Laden, but Robert O'Neill did pull the trigger.
Yeah, he did. But so wait, wouldn't that be the soldiers who killed?
Right, but they wouldn't have done it if they didn't get the order from Joseph Stalin.
So you're
who was a communist.
Both the soldiers and Joseph Stalin.
Under a communist socialist country. Right.
Okay, communist socialist. Okay.
Which was, I mean, there's been 50 different versions of socialism, and all of them have failed. There's Stalin socialism, there's Cuban socialism. I mean, there's many different blends. There's totalitarian socialism. I mean, and all of them have very similar themes.
Yeah, they're all really belligerent. You know, they go on to other countries. And
they also, not all of them. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Cuban socialism.
Yeah,
Cuban socialism never extended outside of the island, so it was very contained. That's why I'm saying there's different test cases.
So it's like poverty. That's what you're saying.
No, what do you mean? I don't know.
Are you asking like? I'm sorry, not asking. You're saying like people starving to death, or are these
no.
like governments sending people to kill people?
Socialism lends itself to human suffering, murderous dictators, impoverishment, all those things, all the above. What I'm saying is that socialism can be encapsulated in a lot of different applications. There's North Korean communist socialism. All of them had their own blend, but they all derived from the same inspiration. Mainly Marx and Engels, mostly. Yeah, but they all had their own little blend of how to oppress their citizens.
Okay, so Bernie Sanders, I'm sure you know him. Dude, free college. Did you go to college?
No, thankfully.
It's okay. So you don't know what we're fighting here?
Sure I do. I've been to more colleges than you have.
You didn't go to college. You have no idea.
So that's an argument from authority. It's an argument from authority.
Yeah.
So that's a logical fallacy. Tell me why I'm wrong, not why I don't have shared experiences why I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
So make an argument, not an argument from authority.
Okay.
Because just because I don't have a degree doesn't mean I'm incorrect.
But dude, degrees like directly relate to intelligence and income.
No, they don't.
Yeah, sure they do.
Is Mark Zuckerberg stupid?
Yeah, of course.
Mark Zuckerberg stupid?
Data, dude. He's an idiot. Come on, man. Who gets caught?
Now you're at a level of trolling, so I appreciate the time. But if you want to make an argument, happy to. But
okay, Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
Do you think that it will become belligerent if he gets elected into any sort of office? He's already a senator. Do you think it'll?
Well, I think he'll destroy the country.
Destroy the country in what way?
You name it. Whether it be not allowing the expansion of fossil fuel exploration, or declaring war on the most.
Would you say fossil fuel's a dying market? Couldn't you say that there's other healthy alternatives, like electricity? I mean, sure.
Electricity.
Yeah, I mean, we can explore into like.
What do you think? Where do you think electricity comes from? Well,
I understand.
Wind farms are environmentally disastrous.
So
No, not necessarily. You have to take case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Fracking has allowed for a huge expansion of American energy independence, and for many countries that now count on our natural gas exploration in the Permian Basin. And he wants to eliminate all natural gas and fossil fuel exploration. I'm just using a singular example of why I think he'd be disastrous. Millions of people work in the natural gas, oil exploration industry and refining. And he wants to end all of it. It's one of his pillars. It's like one.
Yeah.
But I could go piece by piece of why I think he would be disastrous for the country and his policies. Yeah, I mean, I think Medicare for all would further ruin our healthcare system. It's in bad shape, but it would do even worse.
Are you saying it'd do even worse because you're not for universal health care, or do you think it's just a bad idea in and of itself?
I'm not for universal health care, even though we already have aspects of it in society that are completely, totally broken.
Yeah.
And It would also ruin a lot of the medical advancements that we enjoy that do not get the media coverage that people should appreciate. Most of the world's medical advancements that attributed to the standard of living increases in the world happen because of our market-based healthcare system. So, for example, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and Denmark, they do have high taxes and they have healthcare for all. They attribute to very few medical advancements, though. So, for example, open heart surgery was an American innovation, something that has saved countless of lives across the world. Cancer-killing drugs. About 70% of consequential medical advancements happen in the States because there's a profit incentive behind it. Now, is there a flaw behind it? Of course there is. Of course there is.
Would you say the same thing can be spurred by government grants, though?
Show me an example. It doesn't happen
I don't have the data in front
no,
of me.
the reason is exactly that. So the answer is no, usually no.
Okay.
Is that typically the market is the best driving force of innovation breakthroughs. And that's been pretty conclusively agreed upon, even amongst people on the left. Not everyone, but most people on the left would agree that the market is generally better at technological innovations and advancements than government, generally. That's why, God forbid, we ever have a government division of cell phones, right? That's an oversimplification of an argument, but it's still something that could be applied to it. So yeah, I could go on and on why Bernie Sanders would be a disaster, but I'm happy to let you make a point.
And I got one more question for you. Ocasio-Cortez, are you for the 70% tax on the rich?
Of course not.
Why?
Who are the rich?
The 1%, man. What are you talking
The
about?
job creators?
No, they're not job creators, dude. They're the corporate greed on top.
Well over 60% of small businesses file as individuals, so they look like millionaires on paper, but in reality they're employing anywhere between 10 and 50 people. So she thinks they're millionaires, but they're just posting millions of dollars of revenue. That they're restaurateurs, they're dry clean operators. Our tax code is unbelievably broken, so it's very difficult to delineate.
Trump's fixing it.
Of course he is.
He said he's fixing it.
No, the tax cut that he proposed is wonderful that she opposed completely. It was the largest middle class tax cut in American history. It's $2,800 per family on average, even more for single mothers. They expanded the single child tax credit. They cut taxes for every person under $50,000. So yeah, it was a wonderful middle class tax cut. But AOC wants to reverse all of that, and somehow she thinks that by taxing the most productive people in society, she can make things more equitable, which the data has shown that's never to be true. They'll migrate to other places.
This has been done before?
Of course it's been tried before.
It's been done before. You said there's data.
There is data.
That it's happened.
Yeah.
It's been tested.
Yeah, and then we reversed it. So Bill Clinton tried to raise taxes on the rich in the 1990s. It was an utter and total disaster.
Was it 70%?
No, thank God.
Well, we won't know if we can't do it.
Of course, but if it was 25%, you could see it was a disaster, and it goes back down to 20%. You realize that even that small incremental increase had negative impact.
I don't know, man. There was a surplus in the budget, for Bill Clinton.
Sure there was.
Would you attribute it to the 25% on the tax?
No, you could also attribute it to a booming economy and a relatively sane fiscal policy on entitlements. So, for example, in the 1990s, there were 5 retirement beneficiaries per one person providing. Now there's 9.5. In Social Security and Medicare. So you almost have a double amount of people retiring now than you did in the 1990s. So a lot of our deficit is driven by entitlement programs.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,